Alright, boys and girls, here's my 90 amp flux core wire welder. I labeled it Cowboy Electric because I built it. It's got many upgrades, it's got a lot of shit. Was a fun little project, but kind of fell over in the garage, and the cover's all bent up, and the wire wheel's all mangled, and it doesn't work anymore. So, regardless, this is my... I'm not going to give you a tutorial. This is just what I did to upgrade mine. Put a little rheostat, a little potentiometer in there. The light doesn't work. Disconnected that, but you'll see why with what's going on in here. Put a 1/2 inch squeeze connector on it. Ran my own cords, like a 30 foot little cord there. But like I said, the only reason this thing is apart is because it's broken, and I want to show you guys what went on inside. Alright, I upgraded the clamp. Harbor Freight sells a better clamp for it. I put the better clamp on. I think that's worth it. Here we go. So, this is an eBay 120 volt AC to, I believe it's 16 volt DC power converter. Now, I had this working, but it was only $5 on eBay, and it really didn't last long. I checked the fuse. It's not working. It doesn't work properly. But I had this originally, I had this wired in, and it worked off the wire feed speed control. I installed my own fan. This is a junk fan out of a piece of electrical equipment. I installed two capacitors, two big ass capacitors. They're matched. I got them used on eBay. They held a charge, so I'm happy with that. That thing works. I got a choke in there. What I did was I took a, kind of like a nipple like this. I cut it in half. I wrapped it on electrical tape, and I wrapped, I believe that's number 6 or number 8 wire around it X amount of times. And supposedly that's supposed to smooth, just like the capacitor is supposed to smooth the wavelength of the AC into the DC. So most of the switches are still intact. The high, low, the on, off, they're still intact. This is a transformer. The only reason that transformer in there is to control. I believe that's 24 volts going into the switch, coming out of the switch, and going to a contactor. I'll show you on the other side. Just want you to get a good view of what's going on here. So this right here is a bleed resistor. I made a little heat sink for it. Seems to be working. Everything's all dusty and dirty because I use it in the garage. This thing lasted me a good 2 years before it, I think it fell over and took a shit. Alright, let's turn it around here. Here is the more business end here. So if you look up in the back, that's a 40 amp rheostat. And I use that to feed the transformer. And that's what that adjustment knob is I added on here. That's what this is. And it works to a point. It's not linear. Like 50% is not 50%. But it works to a point. I've turned it down to 70, and I've gotten a good weld with it. So here is a 24 volt field coil, 120 volt AC primary contactor. So that's what that big ass transformer's for on the other side. As you could see, this is another eBay item, just a couple bucks. I think this was 11 bucks. It was a 16 volt wire. I'm sorry, a 16 volt. I guess potentiometer. It reduces and supplies voltage. I mean, it works good, and that is my replacement from the Harbor Freight one that always goes bad. And that I wired right in. As you can see, this little wire goes from that top terminal to the drive. And that seemed to be working okay. Over here you could see my oh, the name lost me. God damn it. Rectifier. There you go. Yeah, the name escaped me. Yeah, that's the rectifier. And that is basically what's giving you your DC, going from AC to DC, out of the rectifier into the capacitors, out of the capacitors. This is on the gun side. So this is on the spool gun side. Yeah, like I said, I got the fan out of a piece of equipment. Now, one thing I forgot to show you on the other side that I use that you don't need to use. You don't need this thing. That is the name on that motor. I took it off and stuck it to the side there. One thing I didn't show you on the other side here. Let me show you. I used a terminal block. And that worked out nice, as long as I remembered what went where, what voltage was what, because you got three different voltages in here. But it seemed to work out nice. Alright guys, I hope this helps you. Here's a little picture of my bullshit cart here I made with this. Seems to be working. Gotta have a hanger. Yeah, there's my little cart. All right, ladies and gents, good luck on your project, and I hope that helps you. Hope it helps you. Good luck with your projects.